All right, we just finished the lunch shift. We're going to turn off our fryers because we're going to start filtering process. So I'm going to slide that switch over to off. I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm going to pull out the filter machine. I'm going to connect the wand first. I'm just going to lay that up here to rest. I'm going to push the wand in until I hear the click. And I pull out to make sure it's not going to release on me. I'm going to push the machine in a little bit more. On this side, same thing. I'm going to push in until it clicks. I want to make sure this line is not tangled up, so I want to make sure it's on the outside. I'm going to lift up here on this quick disconnect, push down until it clicks. I'm going to lift up to ensure that it's set. It is. I'm going to push this in all the way. Be careful. Make sure you're on the red thing is on the outside of this guide. We're going to pull out the baskets. I'm going to pull out the screen. I'm just going to rest this to the side, getting that washed as well. When we are cleaning, go ahead and remove this so we can get this cleaned. The grate at the very bottom. And we'll get that cleaned the same time we get the fryer. I'm going to open the drain. It's draining right into the metal filter. Big thing is we got to make sure it's off. If it's on and you drain, a fire will start. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the wash on. I'm going to go ahead and put the wash wand lever on. I'm going to start getting as close as possible so I'm not splashing oil everywhere, so I have less to clean later. I'm putting the edge of the wand up against the stainless, and I'm just rinsing it off right now. I'm going to try to get it off as much as I can. Then I'm going to go and sweep across the gas tubes. Try to knock off as much of the flour or catfish breading as I can. I'm going to look down in there and see if there's any pockets of flour that got stuck in the corners. If so, I'm going to concentrate on that and let that wand try to push that through. We want to hit the polish button. Since it's clean at the bottom, we want the oil to go through the filter for 7 minutes continuously. We're going to go ahead and return the oil back to the fryer. I've got my fireproof glove on. That way when I do touch the hose, I'm not going to burn myself. As long as you use the handle, you're fine. Make sure your hose isn't wrapped around the cart. I'm going to go ahead and close the wash wand. I'm going to go ahead and close the drain lever. And I'm going to return to the fryer. This is the part you need your glove on because this pipe is hot. Pull it out a tiny bit. Remember, it's filled with oil. We're going to go ahead and hit this button to release. You may want to use your glove hand for this because that pipe is extremely hot. Again, I'm trying to take good care, making sure I'm not spilling oil everywhere because that oil is still in the hose. I'm going to lift it up. Remember, there's oil in the hose, and you just want it to drain as much as you can. Once it gets done, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the basket, and we'll take that out. When it's cool, we'll go ahead and clean the filter. Make sure when we're done, we put the grates back in after they've been washed. Let it go for about 30 seconds so you know you get as much oil out of that filter as you can. After we're done, we'll close the vat lever. The wand is off because we took it off, and now we're going to get it ready for our next shift by turning it back on. Part of this is popping this last one out as well. Be careful, there's probably still oil in this. You've got a little drip tray here. Same thing, I'm just hanging it over right there. I'm going to lift up on that little disconnect. Be careful, it's very hot. I'm going to pull out the car. I'm going to set this material right here just so it's not in our way right now. And once it's cool, we'll be able to get this stuff clean with the filters and the hoses. This is our filter machine. But we've got the gun, the hose that we use to spray and clean the inside. We've got another hose that hooks up to the drain valves that goes to the filter machine, which has its paper and so forth. This top screen on top gets rid of any of the heavy sediment before it reaches the filter, so almost like a pre-filter. We've got another micro screen here that catches everything else again. And then we've got a big tray here that'll catch any of that heavy stuff again. Underneath, we've got a filter pad. The filter pad is clean underneath. It is attached with a screw. And all we're going to do is unscrew this so that we're able to take off or put on the pad. You can see the screw head here. You can see how the filter goes over the screw bolt. And then this goes on. We'll bolt this back on. We'll screw it down. If you're having trouble screwing it down, you don't have it in the right position. It's an easy screw. It's not something that's tight. We don't want to have to get vice grips down here and do it that way. We've got that filter screwed on. I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. Our tray will go back on. Our screen, we're going to put it in from this way because there are little tabs here that will prevent you from dropping it in this way. There's no tabs on this end, a tab here, and a tab on that end. Putting these back together, make sure that this lip is on top of the machine so we don't have oil spillage.